Hello, this is Billy Joe Saunders, WBO middleweight champion of the world. Subscribe to Sporting Icons to stay in touch with all the top news. God bless you all.
I think it's better you heard it from me rather than you heard another bullshit story. But the fight's off with Billy Joe Saunders. He shits out again. First time was his arm, now it's his hamstring. We know that he's just trying to make a big money fight with Golovkin Canelo. And I'm too risky to fight. He just don't want to fight me, but there's nothing I can do. You know, it's the second time I took myself away from my family. Got my body in this condition, ready to fight, and gets all last minute. It's cancelled. So obviously gutted, but nothing I can do. Just want to apologise to everybody who's bought tickets, booked hotels, booked train fares, and just say thank you to everybody for the continued support and believing in me. The management team's working on an alternative, so hopefully I'll have a new date in the next couple of weeks. But like I said, thanks to everyone for the continued support.
Right, there you have it from the mouth of Martin Murray. So the fight between Billy Joe Saunders and Martin Murray for the WBO middleweight championship of the world, which was scheduled to be at the O2 Arena in London, is now cancelled as Billy Joe Saunders has pulled a hamstring. Second time that Billy Joe got injured. First time was his arm. Second time, now it's his hamstring. So, hey, first of all, these things do happen. I have no reason to disbelieve Billy Joe. I can understand Martin Murray's frustration there. Obviously, with like a lot of talk that potentially could be Triple G or Canelo. Obviously, that's more money for Billy Joe, no doubt about it, and a more legacy-defining fight should he win against either of those, as most people would side with Billy Joe in beating Martin Murray. But that's not to say that was definitely going to happen, okay? But I do feel bad for Martin Murray, no doubt about it. I mean, that's twice now he's had to go off in camp to, was it Tenerife and that? So, of course, that's time away from the family, and, of course, loss of earnings as well. I'm presuming that he will be compensated for some of this. But it's not really the point. And as I said, I have no reason to disbelieve Billy Joe at all. I don't think that's Billy Joe's way, in all honesty. But this is just another example of one of my issues with Frank Warren. Is that either he's very, very unlucky with the fact that he keeps on having to cancel shows. And it's happening all the time. I mean, if you just look at last year. Now, of course, I only started my channel just over a year ago. And in that time, I had to do so many videos on a Frank Warren cancelled show. It's phenomenal, the amount of shows that he's had cancelled, which obviously is no good for the fan. Obviously, like Mike Murray says there, a lot of people book hotels and take time off work, and, you know, they bought the tickets. And yes, of course, they'll get refunded, but it's not really the point. It's a lot of inconvenience for the fans, no doubt about it. And this happens more and more with Frank Warren shows. And this has always been one of my issues with Frank Warren, is that he has so many cancelled shows. You don't know whether or not his shows are going to go ahead. So, of course, he announces a show, but then you're always in that mind, well, is it going to happen or is it not going to happen? And it's all the time. And it's only a matter of time before BT Sport say, you know what, we've had enough. And I was kind of hoping that once he signed with BT, we'd see this less and less, because obviously he needs to appease the BT Sport, BT Boxing, all that kind of thing. So, I don't know. It's unfortunate for Martin Murray, it's unfortunate for the fans, it's unfortunate for Billy Joe Saunders as well. As I said, this wouldn't be in the kind of character of Billy Joe to pull it out and not really be injured, especially this close to the fight, as we're only, 3 weeks away from it. So I don't see Billy Joe pulling out on purpose. Of course, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. A lot of people will say that Billy Joe is doing it for Canelo, is doing it for a Golovkin. But, I mean, if he was, it's not that I blame him for it, because, you know, if there's an opportunity to fit into the window to become undisputed, then of course. But if it's for Canelo, then no, I don't agree with that at all. But anyway, as I said, we don't know. You know, I have to believe Billy Joe, and Martin Murray is rightfully upset. And then us, the fans, as I said, we're always upset quite a lot with Frank Warren shows, because the shows are cancelled all the time, and it's happening more and more regularly. And this is why Frank Warren will never ever catch Eddie Hearn, because the fans just don't side with Frank Warren. Unless you're a real hardcore old school fan, then you stick with Frank Warren through loyalty, which isn't always the right way to do it. But hey, you know, boxing fans will side with whoever they want to side with, and that's one of the beauties of it, of course, and also a downside to it at the same time. But for me, Frank Warren, it's nothing about him. I mean, I don't know if Frank Warren is cancelling shows because maybe they're not selling as well as they should, and I don't know. I really don't know. So it's either a case of Frank Warren is just unreliable, or he's one of the unluckiest promoters around with all these cancelled shows. I'm not too sure which one it is, but either way, for me, I've been doing too many videos now about Frank Warren shows being cancelled, and I'm kind of sick of doing it, to be honest. So I'm hoping that Frank Warren turns a corner here, because I'm tired of it, and I know you guys are tired of it too. So anyway, just get the news out there for you anyway. I'm sure you guys have known about this for quite a while. It's like my first opportunity to talk about it. So again, apologies for it not being the breaking news, as you like. So anyway, drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you all on the very next video.